Northampton Saints are the Prem Rugby champions for 2026. I mean, they absolutely deserve it. We have to just start by saying that at the start of the season, the way the things were going, the favourites for the year, the favourites were Bath and Northampton. Exeter last week with a phenomenal, memorable, a historic performance against Bath. I think it was just a little too much to go 2 weeks in a row to beat Bath away from home and then to go beat Northampton Saints when they honestly were in a position that they just look like the strongest team in England right now. So honestly, all credit has to go to Northampton. They were absolutely excellent all season. And all those players, I mean, the likes of Alex Coles, George Furbanks, Alex Mitchell when he wasn't injured, Finn Smith, Tommy Freeman, Henry Pollock, all these superstar players were phenomenal for Northampton this year. They really stepped up when it mattered. And it just shows. I mean, a lot of those guys will be going to South Africa now, playing with England to get another bit of a test. And this is a really good kind of way to go into that, positive, winning these things. All the younger players, this core young group from Northampton that are a very key kind of group of England, having this winning mentality, it just adds to the group's experience. We know the Saracens players from the England squad that played in those kind of prime years for Saracens, they know how to win. They know what it feels like to win these big competitions. They know what it takes. And for this group, yes, they have won it before, but for this group right now to win it the way they did this year, being as good as they were throughout the year, it's a very special kind of title for them. It's a very special title for Northampton. But if you do enjoy the content, please don't forget to like and subscribe to help the channel grow. Before I go any further, because there's a lot more content coming out for rugby now with the Nations Championship, for all the Nations Championship teams. If you are an England fan, I will be doing predicted lineups, match reactions, team selection reactions, match previews, and player ratings as well. So there's going to be a lot of content. It's going to be extremely busy coming up soon. I cannot wait for it. So if you do enjoy the content, hit the subscribe button and stick around, because there's going to be a lot more coming out. So just looking at some of the stats for this game, we'll go over some of the stats, because I do enjoy looking at the stats to see what happened, where things maybe went wrong for one team compared to the other. So just looking at it first, the thing I always look at is the 22-meter entries, because I think that does make a direct correlation sometimes. 12 22-meter entries for Northampton Saints with an average of 2.1 points per entry. 9 entries for Exeter with an average of 1.8 average points per entry. First of all, keeping a team under 2 points is really good. Keeping a team under 1 point is amazing, but Northampton getting those 2 points on average per entry really does set them apart from Exeter. You can just see it here. Now, I do like looking at what Rugby Pass does with the whole attack profile and defense profile, so you can see where differences are. You can't really see any differences there, but with regards to defense, you can see that there is a bit of a difference. So the one thing that was a big difference between the two teams, a really big difference, is missed tackles. 39 missed tackles for the Exeter Chiefs, only 15 for Northampton. And you know what missed tackles are. That's breaking a tackle, that's getting an offload, that's keeping the ball going, that's getting those extra few meters across the gain line, that's being able to play with a bit more speed. You physically cannot win a final, you cannot win these big games like this if you have 39 tackles missed. Of course, they have more turnovers, but they're more turnovers won for Exeter, only by 2, but they also had to make significantly more tackles as well, like nearly 20 or 30 more tackles in the game. The fact that they still had to make those tackles, but they missed 39, you can't win games like that at that level. You absolutely can't. And to be honest, I always root for the underdog. So I was rooting for Exeter to do something special. And they did pitch up. They actually showed a very good competitive performance. But I knew coming into this game that after that emotional performance last week against Bath, holding on for 40 plus phases, it's going to be near impossible to go and do that again right now. It's going to be near impossible the next week with 1 day's less recovery as well. Northampton played on the Saturday or the Friday. Exeter played on the Saturday or the Sunday. I think it was the Saturday. To go after that with 1 day's less recovery time after the most emotional performance you've had throughout the entire season for some of these players in their lives, to go and get recharged again, to try do that the next week, it's almost impossible. I didn't see a world where Exeter could have pitched up the way they did the same against Bath. And they did pitch up still, so you have to give Exeter credit. They are a tough team. They're a gritty team. They get stuck in, and I really do enjoy that about this Exeter team, that they just have all these international players from all over chucked together, but they've become such a cohesive unit. So I'm not slandering Exeter at all here. I honestly respect everything they've done this year, and you have to give credit to Exeter where credit's due, because they were awesome this year. Their new signings, normally you get these new signings and they don't really buy into the club. all these new signings for Exeter, they've really bought into the culture at the club, and I really hope Ikitau and Tom Hooper and Dweba and all these guys can stay at Exeter, because they are such good club players and they seem to love it there. Exeter it does seem like one of the best places to play rugby possible. So you have to give credit where credit is due. Exeter were awesome, but Northampton Saints are just a level above. They really are just a level above, and you can just see that with some of the things. I mean, just looking at the player stats, so most points scored, Finn Smith; tries scored, George Hendy with 2 tries; most carries, Henry Pollock; tackles completed, most tackles completed, Greg Fisselau, who is awesome. I hope he can play a lot more international rugby coming up. Alex Mitchell coming off the bench with the most successful passes as well throughout the game, the most defenders beaten, Henry Pollock; the most turnovers won, Finn Smith, the fly half, with 2 turnovers won; most line breaks, Len Ikitau. So across the board, Exeter, when it comes to those stats, only 2 of their players leading the way stats wise as well. And I'm pretty sure, even if you do look at it, most points scored, you see those Northampton players there. Carries, the top 3 taken up by those Northampton players as well. Sorry, the top 2 taken up by those Northampton players as well. So in those stats, in those areas where it does matter, the Northampton players just stepped up. They kept the ball away from Exeter. They made sure Exeter missed those tackles. They were running with so much determination and passion from Northampton. You could just see it was always going to be inevitable that Northampton was going to win this game. There were periods where I thought, oh, Exeter is actually kind of making a fight now. This could be a very good competition. But from early on, you could just see where the balance of power was lying, and it was just a matter of time before Northampton really flexed their muscles and showed that they were the best. But that being said, this Exeter Chiefs team, sorry, it's so difficult to say sometimes. This Exeter Chiefs team going forward is going to be a really fun one to watch. And I think if they can keep this core group of players, which I don't know if they can, hopefully they can, they will be able to win a few, because they are a very difficult team to deal with. So you have to give credit where credit's due. Northampton were the better team on the day. They were the better team throughout the entire competition. Can they go back to back now? I think they can. Let me know in the comments, what do you think? Can they go back to back? Who is your player of the match? Obviously Henry Pollock with a massive performance in this game. Can these players take this form now to South Africa and go get a big result there? I guess we'll have to find out. I cannot wait for it. All of that content coming out soon. If you do enjoy the content, hit the subscribe button. I cannot wait for it. Thank you so much for all the support. Next year I will be covering the Prem from round 1. I only covered it from the playoffs now, but I absolutely love the Prem Rugby, so I will be covering it from round 1. So if you do enjoy the content, stick around, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.